with my concept sketching. Gulp. Is this thing on as usual? Hang on, let's do the old tweet. So yeah, basically, I kind of realized I wasn't. Well, I was kind of like moving on from the concept side because I am more comfortable doing development, I guess, and was pretty much just like, oh yeah, all right, like I've done 3 pictures, art is done, game is done. Let's code for 10 days, a year straight. And I was talking to my partner, and she was like, like you want to get better at like realizing concepts and like creating a vision, and so you keep drawing. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on it. Basically, I've got this kind of burn list that I wrote ages ago of like things I could sketch, like for concepts to flesh out the idea, and like even this by itself is like so much. So I'm just gonna keep going. So I'm working on the village at the moment, and I thought I would like, just do a bit more like reference sketching, but maybe not. I don't know. I think this maybe is enough. So what's in the village is the question. Like domes. Actually, yeah, let's get some more like eco reference. And I think, yeah, I'm not gonna make the mistake of like what I did last week was I ended up sketching like a whole like landscape and shit like that. It was cool. It was fine, but the other thing is I want to make sure that I don't well, I'm not sure when I should do the 3D side of things. I think that is part of my process. Like I started working on the villager that you can see here. Like if I go to, what's it called? Learningpad.me. The other thing is this is going to be a silent stream essentially. Like I don't think this is the kind of thing that people watch to watch the show, as far as I can tell. But people do drop in, so I kind of like that, and it's more like a window to my office. So just to explain that. Also, I set my desktop to all my travel photos from like years ago when we were allowed to leave the country, and they're like all of me, just being like slightly tipsy in Bali and shit like that. It's pretty funny. So yeah, for example, this guy I got straight into. The fuck my brain into gravity sketch, and I sketched him out, which is kind of cool. Also like, oh man, I'm fucking been having a hoot with I might even be able to just show you guys. I've been making art. It's cool. Up until last year I wasn't writing, I wasn't making art, I was just wishing I was, and now I am. I'm really glad. It's really, it's hard work though, like you just gotta keep going, you know? Perfect. I'll show you guys another time. I tried making like a sort of, hang on. So I tried making like, it's the old bintang. I tried making like a social media calendar to like share content less regularly, but whatever. And I did that last night. No one liked it, so I give up. I'm just gonna keep going anyway because I'm a maniac. Anyway, so I guess let's say like earth-friendly homestead. Like I've kind of got this vibe of like. Let's get it. So I think like, you know, lots of circles, lots of like things growing up around them, like the dome. Maybe I won't draw too many like I won't do big shapes. I'll do lots of like little shapes for now before I lock into like a piece that I want to. I actually have a pretty clear idea of like what the homestead would look like. I'm sort of like imagining sort of like rustic wooden everything, right? Like that's sort of like very Gaulic and uh, familiar as like old timey, but then like with lots of like really like modern shapes and construction. And I guess it would have to have like what type of building material do they use? What's in the village? And I don't want it to be like an Anglo version of like what like somewhere nice would look like, if you know what I mean. Hang on. Earthships. That's what I'm thinking about. Now we're fucking cooking. So maybe I could do sort of like. So I should probably start with like the homestead, because the village was just this idea, because I realized that there's like. I think part of it is that the homestead. In the story I wrote, like the homestead was the was where she goes, and that's like represents like, you know, her like peaceful like relationship with the land and yada yada yada. But I realized that that's actually, you know, well, I assume that that's sort of like single farm, like isolated, like, you know, one family, like sort of overseeing the overseeing the this, you know, patch of producing land is sort of like kind of like very Western and like I say like so much. It's really Western and reductive, I guess. Or I I read this thing called the Protopian Manifesto, and it was kind of like just kind of calling out thinking that way, and how often that'll like how much that just underpins Western scientific thinking. And I was like, I don't want to think like that. So I'm trying to think differently and rethink it. So the question isn't like how does the homestead look, how does the community look? It's like how does the homestead fit into the community? And I guess, you know, all right, got a few questions here. How does homestead fit into community? How could they live and cohabitate differently? Like what's like medium density housing post apocalyptic medium density? Well, this is like post apocalyptic. It's like everything's pretty sweet because everyone's just used to not having an iPhone, and they've learnt to look after themselves like we have for hundreds of thousands of years. Fuck, these places look pretty fucking cool. You gotta be really careful when you're like reference hunting, not to just fall in love. Ooh, what happened here? That's interesting. Spaceships and bananas. So I try and use purple for questions. I'm not sketching enough. I'm thinking too much. Essentially, I'm a writer. Like, it's like that's the reality is that I've been like, oh man, I'm not even like my ability to like synthesize words is just so much greater than my ability to like draw or do development or anything like that, right? But I just love doing this other stuff too. And it helps me think laterally. So, okay, so little house here. So this is their homestead, right? Oh, little dome. It's all kind of domey. We like domes, but we also like little peaks. That's cool. Now, yeah, so she's like, there's like food, like maybe there's just animals just running around. Meh. Yeah, that's nice. Realistically, probably not like big trees, because I think you just don't nestle your house in trees in a post like climate waste down. Like, how does climate affect? We go more realistic. Okay, so all right, this is feeling good. So there's these little trees here, but already it still feels a bit homesteady, like you're out on the range. So I think what we need is some eco communities. It's all about like fucking living in a circle, but like, what does that even mean? Like, why is the circle better than a square? I don't know. How the Tesla of eco village, fuck. Alright, no, this is a good reference though. Oh, our society's so full of shit. So what do we got? Solar panels, water catchers. Town square. How does this society make their machines? The whole idea is that these little like robots are like your little pals and shit. Maybe not. Like, oh, look at this garden. Alright, this is the shit right here, right? Like, this is just beautiful garden inspo. I've been just drawing gardens for like weeks instead of gardening. It's pretty funny. It's like drawing more than anything else, really. I've heard they call this an eco village. It's just a village. These people just lived in nature. This is interesting though, like in terms of like high density urban housing. That's kind of cool for the like. Ooh, fucking. All right, now we're cooking. So there's this like city that they go to later. Jeez Louise. These motherfuckers are cooked. Hang on, I'll meet you in the I'll meet you in the organic fucking pod. But I'm still wearing a fucking suit and tie. Yeah, fucking right. We're gonna fucking. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty cynical about like our ability to adapt through. Oh my god, like this is some good looking fucking shit though. Like we're gonna leave some good concept references. This is perfect. This is cool. This is real. Any way to preserve nature. That's really interesting. All right. Okay, so we've got a few more references here, like maybe, okay, so maybe there's like a few of these little like kind of like dome towns around. And then there's off in the like slightly distant is the like medium density Italian village housing like city center, which you know you can see there, but it's like not. It's interesting. Like we basically did this whole bit of medium density stuff. So it's kind of like this is like the interior. Where we've got like pots and pans and shit like that. I won't keep sketching that because I'll do another layer on top. Yeah, let's dive in. I guess like this is probably as much as I'm gonna. Okay, maybe we can get a bit more context up the front here. And okay, so like here for example, these are like kind of okay. So I imagine them as like raised like ring like garden beds. I don't know why that's the way it is, like to be honest. What's the point of that? Or is that just like another one of those like kind of oh this is futuristic kind of situations? Don't know. Bit of room to play here. What's this? Oh, it's a goat. Alright. Yeah, let's just like ink over this. Yeah, it's tough. Like I really love doing it. I could do this all day, easy. But I love my job to a certain degree. Like it's different. It's a lot of responsibility basically, and a lot of talking, which I'm terrible at. Okay, need more domes. More domes. It's sort of like, what do we want these kind of environments to be built up? Like, I think we could like. You know, it's sort of like how do you break down that barrier between like, or maybe they're just farmers, and that's just like, it's not colonial like because it's good for some reason. You gotta have food. Like, this is exactly how I imagined it in my head. So let's just do that. Okay, so that you know, it's like, hey, we're good farmers. Our farms are in a ring. That's a good thing for some reason that no one can. Well, I've never bothered looking up, so. What would I know? Okay, so that's cool. Like, we've got this little Earthship kind of vibe house with like, you know, good vibes going on. Geodesic sun domes. Yes, please. All right. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So that'll be the door in this reference. So I'm always hesitant to like look at references too much because it's like. What are they? Let's give them a little spire or something, like a little fucking high-tech little satellite or something. No. Scrap that. Whatever, doesn't matter. Put the spire in the city. Okay, so maybe there's like, it's like, how do you show that it's like, it's a human environment, but it's like a natural environment, that it's a functional environment? That's the bloody question. Okay, so a bit of a pond. Oh, you know what? It's people. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, hey, I'm riding a bike here, or I'm a goat. Um, I can figure out how to draw a bicyclist. Well, now or never really. Um, Maybe they're like, oh, that's futuristic. They're pedaling with their hands. And it's like the roads aren't like shit. They're just not. Well, I don't know. What are they? What are the roads made out of? Oh my god, I'm having the time of my life. This is my favorite hour of the day. I love it so much. Alright, it's looking pretty something. Yeah, fuck it. No control Z. No going back. And then, like, you know, these are just like bristling with life. Like, oh my god, look at all that fucking kale. This is like a hipster's paradise. These bars are like, I guess, watering cans, if you know what I mean. Like, is there like little robots? And there's like little like different crops because it's like for whatever reason it's a good thing. I don't really know, but I'll. And like these are all fruit trees because it's like, why not make all trees fruit trees? I've never really understood that. Like, there's probably some reason. And then there's lots of green here, but we're not really too worried about that because we already did the city square in another one. And then, so in the geodesic dome, kids are like running around. Well, why is it a dome? Like, it's for food production, right? I guess, what's the thesis here? Is that like people are gonna make yummy food, like, and it's just like the future of humanity is to farm? Like, is that the, like, you know, I sometimes wonder, like, are we just sort of like doing this weird, like, traditional, like, almost conservative, you know, traditionalism of like, oh, you know, return to, but it's like kind of masked as like kind of like socially progressive when it's actually just this kind of like weird like reaction, its own reactionary kind of thing. I'm not sure. That's why like it's not why I'm doing this project. I thought I was doing this project. I don't know. Like I thought I was doing it to like. Well, I was like, how do I, you know, I kind of like, how do I show like my idea of a better future? And then as I've been doing it, I've been like, well, what is my idea of a better, like, why should I have one at all? For one thing. All right. Like, who the fuck am I? Home. Like, Gorlick interior. Hey, fuck, I know what I like, don't I? Oh my god. I love this shit. Yeah, alright, so that's pretty much what I was doing. So I don't really need to overdo it. I'm just like adding some like extra crenellations. I'm currently like doing a like now I finished my character design course and I'm doing like a environment design course. I keep being like, what do I want to do with my life like that involves character design and concept design? Like, do I want to be a comic book artist? Do I want to be a like writer? Do I want to make and then I'm like, oh, it's just video games. Like, I just don't like video games. Is the problem. like as in modern interactive media, like mostly is like boring and shallow to me, because I'm so smart and special. Okay, so this is like the family home, right? And it's like a cutaway, obviously. So let's just ship it. Like that'll do. Maybe let's give these things a bit of. That's what I'm looking for. Lasso. Oh, no, we're not lassoing. Okay, there we go. Give these things a little bit of space. Or maybe not. Let's just fucking leave them all jammed together. Oh, shit. Like, I'm like, space for what? Like, who gives a shit? I'm in my bad boy phase at the moment. It's yeah, it's do it about once a month. So I'm super accommodating, I think, and do my best to like keep everyone happy and blah blah blah, all that kind of like people pleasing bullshit. And then I sort of like some sequence of events will usually like kind of push me over the edge, and I'll just be like, no, I'm sick of everyone. Go fuck yourself. Which is like obviously not healthy at all. Okay, so this is like Earthship vibes, right? So what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna do like the ink layer, like the final ink layer at all. Maybe like I'm just doing another layer on top to like lock this in, I guess. So let's have a look at these geodesic domes. So it's like, why are the domes? I wish I could just do this all day. Like, I kind of do for work, but it's just like the topics are always just like the Olympics or something. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the Olympics. But yeah, so what I'm want to get better at is like coming up with a vision, like, and not in a wanky way, as in just like a concept, whatever, that's like exciting to me, and being able to essentially sell it in the business as a starting point, like, so what would these be like if I was to get rid of that layer? Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Like, I think I gotta remember, like, I'm making a low poly game, so I've gotta, like, not draw, like, my gumbo version of, like, hyper realistic shit. Alright. Don't really need to hold my iPad, do I? So what am I doing here? Like, why is this? It's got like an airlock, I guess, because it's maybe it's like climate controlled. Alright, so what's going on here? So it's like we've got these like that. Looks like a caterpillar's, I don't know what a what means in that context. Looks like a caterpillar's pussy. All right, the dome. So I feel like, to be honest, we probably wouldn't have this, would we? It'd be more like, all right. So I guess maybe. Okay, so aquaculture, what does that look like? Aquaculture. The old aquaculture Gaelic interior. Alright. How are we on time? Pretty good. Alright, that's good. Pretty much don't need the smoothing, I guess. Okay, so what's going on here? And then it would like come down like that, and then go across like this, and then do that. Why does it do this? I do not know. It's just because it's cool, maybe? Chugging coffee like it's a fucking Jaeger bomb. Guess I need some smoothing. All right. So yeah, I'm using like my iPad stream to my PC because it's like I like that I can stream. It's cool. Like, hang on. So let's try and keep the messy stuff on one layer. But it's kind of annoying as well because it's like just slower basically. Does that make sense? Does that scan? Like, kind of. Scans enough for like a cartoon house. Alright. Should we at it? Technically, I should have used one line and clone stamped it. I don't know. I don't like doing it. Maybe it's just because I don't know how really. Okay. might just start again, to be honest. Okay. So I reckon let's do the beams first, now that we know what we're doing. Probably, yeah, I'll definitely have to do another layer on top of this. Maybe, maybe not. I think so. Like, well, I kind of have this, like, I wouldn't say dilemma. Let's not get carried away. Like, I'm trying to figure out, am I doing concept art, as in setting the challenge of being able to create concept art, basically, right? Or am I just doing enough sketches so that I can make the 3D assets I want, and like they just have to look as good as I enjoy them to look and as useful, right? I think it's good to get really good at something, even if it's not how you want to do it. Like, it's a certain amount of like, it teaches you the rules that you're breaking, I guess. Like, it's kind of my thinking. So I think for now, at least, I'll like, you know, do the proper like steps of like inking and whatever. It is enjoyable. It's just like that detail, like that final detail level. I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like, picture's done. Also, because I have like, well, I got ADHD, so that's part of it. So like by the time it's like, yeah, like, you know, that like polish phase, my brain's like so far moved on from whatever it is. Like, I just don't care about it anymore. So it's sort of like these poles are setting the angle of the building, right? So this one is actually the one that's not twisting far enough, which is what my first instinct was. It's interesting. So I think for me, like, what I need is like 2 layers. Like, one, like my first layer is just so insanely messy that you essentially can't use it to ink over. Okay, all right. So now we got a little homestead, right? Hang on. Are we happy with these lines? Not quite. Yeah, maybe it looks a little bit too much like a. Oh, that's a pretty nice little. And they could have like little stained glass, like, you know, the whole situation up there. So I feel like, yeah, this table would probably be more like that, right? Well, what's the angle here? And also, it seems like, well, it's definitely, yeah. Jesus. Okay. I think part of the problem might be this guy's too far away from these guys. So let's bring you in to tighten up a bit. There we go. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Alright, that makes more sense. And what's been interesting is like learning how long this stuff takes. Is that, yeah, it's not, you know, I guess I had this image of like, oh, I have an idea, like, oh, what about a geodesic home, like whatever, and then like it's sort of like, you know, have the idea, sketch it out, have it in 3D, within an hour sort of thing. Like maybe you do get quicker at this. Like it takes me like, I can write 1,000 words in like fucking like 20 minutes. Maybe it's the same is true for drawing or concepting. Like I know you can get quick at drawing, but that like, well, yeah, that's definitely also part of what I need to get quick at. Okay, so I've kind of maybe over-focused on this bench because it's pretty important. Like the bench is actually in the story, as in, you know, the kitchen. And it's like, okay, so what's, and it's like a homely kitchen, right? So there's like, firstly there's pots and pans, like you gotta have pots and pans, and that's, so this would be a cooking element, right? Like, oh my god, do not fucking, alright, Sammy's cranky. Like spice, and, you know, little like lovely little things like that. A Smeg fridge, like it's fucking hilarious, this shit. This like sort of like faux, okay, so a big chopping board. Mum's got to be cooking a bloody stew, right? Mama's got to be like have some stuff dangling there. Some garlic. Mama's got to have some garlic hanging, and Papa. Mama and Papa do shared cooking. That's one thing. They all duties are shared. Mama and Papa love each other and they want to do things together. Okay, so what's over here then? Okay, so they've got it's their kitchen, they're cooking. I don't know. Let's leave that bench free. Let's not just fucking fill every bench. And I just reckon that you would have cupboards in the future. Like, whatever anyone says, like, yeah, okay, let's just, like, what would be here? You know, like, this is a food preparation area, right? Well, there's gotta be a sink. How can we, like, show that would be? Okay, so, like, sink there, right? And tap and all that shit. And then maybe that's sort of like, if we were to show the outside. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. What's the horizon line here? It's like kind of that, right? Okay, so let's not worry about the sync and shit. Like it's there. There's something's there. I'm definitely have to re-ink all this shit, obviously. That's good. This is great. Gravity fed tank, whatever. Like that doesn't, we can do that shit later. So then yeah, it's funny, I just had this really clear picture of like this kind of like curved staircase up to a loft. Okay, so actually we better keep these beams going, right? Because that's the whole point. Now they are, well, why wouldn't they just keep doing it? Like, I don't know what this means for the structural integrity, but whatever. Well, like maybe they can have more than one room. Maybe I should grant them this blessing of. I wonder, are Earthships still cool? Like, could I get some sort of like cultural clout for referencing them? Or are they like, it turns out they're like problematic? Like, I was born in a house made of garbage, like, not even kidding. I'm the real deal. That's why I'm a bit like, oh, you sure you want to live in a garbage house? I did. Well, I have. I wasn't raised in a garbage house, but I've lived there for periods of my adult life. It's pretty cool. It's definitely nice to have walls that are normal and not, yeah, made of old shit, to be honest. At least have that option. Okay, so that's the dining table. The dining table is really the harder things. But maybe we could have it a bit like, you know, like that, even just to create a bit of like space here. Like, looks pretty cool though. I'm kind of feeling it. In the future, there will be domes. Maybe what I'll end up doing is the dining table on like a different level. And would it die, like, you know, would they all? Yeah, I think they would. Like, and big mama grandma's there. Like, let's get some people in here just to. Nanu, fucking, she's chopping onions. She loves it. She loves chopping those onions. Who knows what, like, this way lies. It's sort of like another area, obviously. This doesn't reveal. And then we got and Sheena's running in like, yeah, no. Yeah, let's get a little bit of. It's a character. It's a real character. 841. Fuck. Okay. That's fine. Whatever. I'm feeling this. Ooh, let's see. Papa's Papa's doing the dishes. He's a bloody legend. So I was thinking of making the characters androgynous, but in a like really like stout kind of like Gaelic kind of like everyone's just really thick. Because why not? Like, you know, we always think of like sexlessness is combined with like being thin. Like that's somehow like the ultimate like, you know, evolutionary goal is like hairless, thin, and it's less like fucking pedos. Like why not fucking big, chunky, not androgynous people, the people that are like obsessed with like, you know, what are essentially signifiers of like youth and perfection. And most of them are just have body dysmorphia. Nanu, Nanu! Nanu, Nanu, I found a radio receiver to the ancient past! Calm, calm, child. Calm down. Take a breath, take a breath. And then... Well, if you had a round house, you can have a round table, right? And then, okay, so Mama... So that Nanu's cooking, like, because she's making what's her name's favorite stew, and then Mama's like, "What's Mama doing? Maybe she's like in VR or some shit. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, she's like managing the crop harvest." Yeah, and it's like a little like geodesic like version of the house with like a little. Yeah, but she wouldn't be sitting right there, would she? So she like, all right, like, so let's put Mama here, and she's sort of like doing the books, right? But it's like a big virtual version of the house. Trust me, I know what this is. I know exactly what I'm looking at right now. Um, Sort of. Yeah, that's fun. All right, so it could be like, and then yeah, she's like, 'cause that's the cool thing with like adventure games is you can like you can explore the world a little bit more, right? And you have to be able to deliver that then if you're gonna make one. And I reckon they would just have normal chairs because chairs are pretty good. Uh, and Papu and Nanu and Mamu, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I've never had a pet name for anyone in my family my whole life. This is all sort of like normal family ideation for me as well. Like, oh, imagine if like, okay, so would this table have these tiny legs? Maybe not, but I'm going with it. Um, what's this? What does this mean? Oh, that was gonna be Mummy's head. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that for now. Um, yeah, fuck yeah, this looks fucking great. Um, like I can figure out some of these proportions and dimensions and shit later. This is a cutaway, so we don't worry about that. And of course, they have a lovely rug. Lovely rug. And then this sort of like, alright, hang on. Is this the most fun I've ever had in my life? I think so. What the fuck? And then like, yeah, this is kind of like a hallway up to here, so I'll figure out the dimensions of that later, but it would be, yeah, something else, basically. Like, okay, that's cool. Alright. Okay. So let's see if we can do the same treatment here. So this is essentially that door that she just ran in. So let's and it's just cute, right? It's like it's not just like they're not just like, oh, we live in a fucking geodesic dome because of like whatever. They're like, circles are cool. We love it. Okay, so there's a little balcony here. Maybe that's where like, you know, they can come out on their little courtyard. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Am I just designing my dream house? Yes. Okay, little courtyard, little fucking how we do it for time? Oh, killing it. Okay, so this is just one dome. Dome one. And then she runs in, so actually that would have to come behind dome 2, right? That doesn't make sense because this is forward. Okay, and that's maybe, yeah, she runs in. This is where the stairs go up to, maybe there's like lofts. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, they all kind of like chill out and have like a shared like sleeping like area, but it's like sick. Okay. Am I doing game design? And like, cool. And then yeah, you can sort of see where it like it bumps out like that. That's cool. I just love like the human mind, like where you can just like be making these like decisions and connections, not even realizing it really, and like the tragedy is, well, it's not tragic. Well, it's a bit sad. Like how many people don't know that they can do that, and that when I'm doing it, it's not like this magic thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I've refined it. I've built my like connection to that part of myself, but it's there. You're using it to understand whether you should have been invited to the Christmas party or, you know, whatever. Like, it's all there for everyone. And so many people don't like learn that. I wonder, like, yeah, so they have doors, obviously. Humans have. Onions have layers! Okay, so if that's the side, that means the tank's on the other side. Alright, well, that's good because I don't want to draw it that much. But let's get it there. A little water tank. Oh no, he's not got. He wouldn't dare create a solar flower roof. Surely not. Surely not. Oh my god. He's doing it. He's doing it. Okay, how would that look? I don't know. Let's figure that out later. Okay, so that dome cuts into that, and let's say that's like that. So that's like floor 1, and it would. It's more like little mezzanine, so floor 2, and then there's like Mama and Papa. Oh, that's a bit weird. Actually, yeah. Let's say like it's all like that, right? All right, there we go. And we've got this sort of like multi-stack mezzanine, which fucking what kid doesn't want to live in a fucking mezzanine? Like, and then it's got like she's got her own little situation going on up there, which I'll fade all that out a bit, I guess, to put it behind glass essentially, with like lots of their own little cool shit and blah blah blah. Do do do. Do 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 do. Alright. And then so they would look like this, right? Yeah, like that's fucking sick. Alright, so and then this is like that, but let's give it some doors. Like you're allowed to have doors in the past. That's my future. Must it. Okay, how are we doing for time? I don't think I'm gonna get past sketching this stuff, so I'll leave it as it is, but I'm really fucking digging this. This is cool. So that's their little house, which obviously then Okay, so how would this look? That would kind of go into that, and then I think this would be like a little pathway into here, and then they've got this little table, got a nice overhanging tree here that like also is fruit bearing because why not? And I think, yeah, wouldn't they have like lots of like greenery growing around? I question like the whole like, you know, green growing on your house stuff. Like, does that like also like trap a bunch of moisture that like erodes the stuff, you know? Okay, so if these are like, if I was to sketch what this is missing, right? Okay, so that's like the missing piece, like that. Well, is it? Yeah. So they're basically missing these like whatever those shapes are called. So if I was to say, okay, it's like that, it's like that, it's like that, it's like that, and then these would have their own like, yeah, like that. All right, and it's really just this one that you can see side on enough to be like, oh, okay. It's pretty cool. And then yeah, little solar panels. I feel like you need more than that, but that's all right. And also little warming buddies. All right, it's fucking sick. All right. All right, so these are just like garden beds, but then like, let's get more. It's actually like, yeah, if these are, if I look at this garden, fuck, I love this shit. All right. Maybe they wouldn't do crops like that. Well, yeah, they're doing crops for the whole fucking town. Like this is a like an urban, no, like a small farm for like the leafy green farm, the hipster farm. It's probably most important to get these like shapes down than anything else. Well, they're equally important. Okay, so technically, if I was smart, I could go clone stamp, alt, tap that, and then do that. And then you go like that, and then that's perfect. Problem is I never like the line that I have just done, usually, either. And I kind of like I like it when you like nail close enough, but it's almost got its own little like personality. But maybe that's just like an excuse for me to not do it properly. Oh man, it's nearly 9 o'clock. All right. Well, 4 minutes. We're running hot. Let's see how we can go. That's pretty much perfect. so that's a pretty good garden bed. Actually, since I'm on the PC, the old PC, I keep calling Mum's Mac a PC, and it like offends her because she's like, I have a Mac. Alright, settle down. Okay, that's cool. It's coming together. Alright. So there's two things I could do. I could try this. I'm very so skeptical of like, you know, this kind of style, but like this is what I've been learning to do, right? So it just feels like you really have to warp the perspective and nah. Alright. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just using clone stamp wrong or something. I just don't understand it. Like, I get it. Like, I just like to... And I guess maybe the cartoonist in me... Why does that fucking keep happening? It's just, Photoshop just keeps, like, cancelling some of my like commands. All right, so well, I know why. It's because I'm pressing some button that triggers. All right, so and like these are big kales. Hey, yum yum yum. Everyone loves a big kale. And even this, like, you're supposed to clone stamp it and whatever, but fuck you, I don't want to. So this has been interesting. I think, like, drawing, like, a second layer like this so I can, like, sketch on top of, like, what is just, like, shape, like, blocking the shapes out is actually beneficial. That's cool. Like, I think, yeah... how this all fits together will need some work, but it's not A59, so that's kind of cool. Like this will, the shit of my sketches are like in terms of like messiness, the like better finished product because it means I like didn't rush it and I've got lots of details to work on and stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool. I'm getting used to using the PC with the with the tablet. That's kind of cool too. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock.